Joining us this morning is George Barcelon, the chairman of the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Good to see you, George. Welcome back to the program.
Good morning, Kathy. Thank you for inviting me.
Okay, so how much of a positive are the tariff exemptions? Well, what sort of numbers have you drawn up with the chamber?
Well, definitely our agri fruits export is about $1 billion. So any reduction in reciprocal tariff will give us that advantage. But in a way, the other ASEAN countries also, you know very well, during the ASEAN meeting in Malaysia, President Trump also pronounced zero tariff to the three countries, Cambodia, Malaysia, and Thailand. Okay? But be that as it may, at least we have 1 billion market in the US. So whatever additional incentive will also boost our export.
So, what sort of additional incentives would you prefer? The DepDev Secretary R.C. Balisacan says they're still batting for even lower tariffs.
Yes, well, of course, if it's across the board a lower tariff, that would be best. But we're also batting for, let's say, the wearables, the garments, the Christmas decor. All of this, we do have a market in the US, and if that can be reduced to 0%, that would again give us some competitive advantages because those are labor-intensive sectors, and this is something that we'd like because we would like to create more jobs.
Yeah, in terms of jobs, though, with this additional exemption of $1 billion, how many jobs did these tariff exemptions save?
Well, these are related to agri products, no? So there's a gestation period. It will take time. As a matter of fact, earlier we were just discussing as that some of the highly demand fruit products, it's uh, it's because we're short of capacity for our export. So we really have to gear up, no? Not only for the U.S. market, but we have to expand our market coverage in other countries and also go up the value chain of fruit export. We could process some of these coconut products. The majority of our agri exports is still coconut based. And if we go up the value chain, that would increase our export revenue.
Right, but we're short of capacity, as you say, and we have to gear up. Are we out of time, given that the need is going to be there, but the supply isn't?
You know, agri products uh, sometimes relies on also the climate conditions, like typhoon or earthquake affects the capacity of harvest down the line. So hopefully, I mean, we have a couple of bad typhoon, and this has somehow affected their harvest. No, but we look forward to the fact that hopefully next year it wouldn't be so bad.
So, in the order of positive as it impacts economic growth, and we do have slowing momentum in the GDP, where do tariff exemptions stand now as the governance challenges deepen and broaden?
The tariff, of course, we're primarily addressing the issue of the reciprocal tariff to the U.S. No, as of now, almost 50% of our export to the U.S. is 0%. The other bigger item is really the electronics and the wire harness for the automotive. Those are the bigger chunk of our export to the U.S. So we're benefiting from the 0% on that. So almost half, almost about seven, I believe 6.8 to $7 billion out of the 14.5 billion that we export to the U.S.
So, what sort of a dent will that make to GDP then, if we're being weighed
Uh,
by the lack of public spending here?
well, as we know that in the last quarter, the GDP really almost shrunk by 20%. The GDP primarily is still impacted by our local consumption and expenditure. The last quarter has been hit bad because the construction funding has been curtailed. Many of this, of course, I don't blame the government. They are concerned about the graft and corruption address or related to some of these major construction projects. So that has really impacted the our GDP. Hopefully, that with all the investigation going on, the government can relax or know what are the projects that can be duly funded. In my other interviews before, I said, sana man, wag naman across the board na pinahinto yung mga projects because some of the projects are really needed. And not all the contractors are abusing, no? They're good contractors, and I think those should be supported.
So, which ones then, George, do you think might be of prime benefit as we enter the new year?
Yes, as far as New Year is concerned, we know naman pag Pinoy, pag Christmas with all the bonuses coming from the both government and the private sector, they do spend. But the concern really is moving towards 2026 is that with what the government has initiated in dealing with this flood protection, flood project or scandal, to gain some uh, trust from the private sector, and also not only the local businessmen, but foreign investors. I believe that because of this scandal, a lot of them are taking a wait and see attitude. So somehow that has impacted, no, our growth. Hopefully, by end of the year, we can see the investigation would yield some substantial result, wherein for us to take a breather, na okay, something's being done, we can resume our focus on the sustainability of our economy.
To your point in Christmas spending, do you think that people might want to spend for Christmas, given that there is a lack of consumer trust, and as the investigations go, people are still angry?
They have, as we know very well, the turnout on some of these demonstrations. We can see that all sector of the society, high and low, we have solidarity to in dealing with what we've seen, no, the grave uh, abuse of certain both private and sector, both private and political, no. But a majority of our businesses are MSMEs, which is about 99.6%. And a lot of our general populace, they sort of look towards the Christmas and the Christmas bonus as something that allows them to splurge. So definitely spending will be there. Now, whether they are concerned not to spend all of it or put some on the side for eventuality, that I couldn't tell. The other aspect is the peso has weakened somewhat. Of course, as of late, it has regained some appreciated a bit, no? And I've heard those remittances are also affected because they anticipate some of them. I mean, I can't say whether it's justified that they're expecting the peso to hit 60 pesos, which we don't look forward that it will go that low. But because of that concern, some of them are holding back the remittance, and that might have a slight effect on the availability of liquid funds for them to spend.
Why do you think 60 is not justified?
We still have the OFW remittances is still quite consistent in the past. No, we're still expecting something close to the amount of $40 billion. Export, as of late, has gained a bit, although high single digits. So that's in a way sustaining our export. So our inflation is low. I have to commend the government for being able to deal with it. Of course, the rice issue, as we know very well, the government would allow more importations of rice, and also the excise tax, no, is being addressed. So we still have a pretty stable macroeconomic fundamentals.
You mentioned in your statement that you're working with the Trade and Industry Department to ensure that the MSMEs remain competitive. But what's it like doing business these days, George, given that government agencies are hit with paralysis as the investigations come on? Is it a lot more difficult to work with government agencies, especially the DTI?
Well, DTI, at least we still have our secretary there, no? Secretary Chris Roque. So we don't expect any changes. Of course, the high position that recently that has changed is the Secretary Frederick Go has been bumped up to be the Secretary of Finance. And in a way, we're happy with him being in that position because he came from the private sectors. And in the short stint of him being the special advisor for foreign direct investment, he has gained credibility. And he's the go-to person because then when there are issues with the customs, he is able to deliver. And I hope now that he's given that mandate, a broader mandate, wherein that both agencies, and these are both revenue-centric agencies, the BIR and the BOC. I have full confidence that in his past dealing with the private sectors, and that he's up to the job. No, of course, there's changes also in the BIR. The Commissioner June Lumagig has been changed, no, by the new appointee of President Marcos. So these are wait and see attitude. I think if they see that what has been laid down before by their predecessor is good, they might as well follow those. What I can say is during the term of Commissioner John Lumagi, he really reached out to the private sector. PCCI is the head agency in the private multi-sectoral partner with the BIR. So we meet every once a month to discuss some of the issues.
The hope is that it continues that kind of collaboration with the BIR. Just as a final point, George, what is your sense on the level of political risk premium that investors have to assign these days in the Philippines? Just to quote DLSD Professor July Tiangki, he did say that the ongoing Marcos-Duterte conflict has fundamentally fractured the coalition, creating an environment of intense political instability.
Well, I have to agree with that. You remember during the campaign period, they talk about unity. And we thought that that seems to be a nice tagline because we know it's a combination of two parties, no? But now definitely it's fractured. And of course, what we're seeing is a lot of politicizing, no? And you know what happened. I mean, during that last day of the INC demonstration. But we'd like to really, in the meantime, voice our concern that there must be some resolution to this graft and corruption issue. But we must not lose focus on what is important for the economy. You know, the small guys in the micro and small relies on a sustainable economy. Okay, they're hand to mouth in a way, and it's important for us to maintain that so that there would be no unscrupulous party, to take advantage of them. When people are hungry, they can easily be dissuaded to follow some of the right-leaning or left-leaning activities. So we're in the private sector, what I heard Mr. Ongpin said earlier. Of course, we're not the one to instigate the change, but we can influence. We can influence to show them that we're their partner. But definitely on our side, we want a certain fairness in dealing with the taxpayer. When we see all the money that they get from the taxpayer, and it's not put to good use, building school or roads, we feel very disappointed.
All right. Oh, well said. Thank you so much for your insights, George. As always, George Barcelon of PCCI.